A horse! A horse! My kingdom for a horse!
In the land of England, there was a man named Richard, Duke of Gloucester. Richard was a man consumed by ambition and a burning desire for power, but he was also physically deformed. He had a hunchback, a withered arm, and a limp, which made him an object of ridicule and scorn among the people. Additionally, Richard was a bastard, born out of wedlock, which made him an outsider in the royal family and not well loved by many people. Richard's chance for power came when his brother, King Edward IV, died, leaving his young son to inherit the throne. Richard saw an opportunity to seize the crown for himself and began plotting and scheming. However, his physical appearance and status as a bastard made it difficult for him to gain the support of the people. One of Richard's first actions was to have his own nephews, the young princes, imprisoned in the Tower of London. In a cruel and heartless act, Richard had the two boys murdered, ensuring that they could never stand in the way of his ambition. But Richard's actions did not go unnoticed, and soon his own family members began to turn against him. The mother of the murdered princes, Queen Elizabeth, cursed Richard, saying that he would never be able to tell his friends from his enemies. This curse haunted Richard throughout his reign, as he became increasingly paranoid and suspicious of those around him. Despite the curse, Richard continued his quest for power, manipulating and betraying those around him. He even went so far as to kill his own friend, the Duke of Buckingham, who had helped him in every step of his rise to power. But Richard's reign was short-lived. As a rival claimant to the throne, Henry Tudor gathered an army and marched against him. After all the manipulation, murders, and bloodshed that Richard III had committed in his quest for power, he was ultimately defeated. As Richard lay dying on the battlefield at Bosworth Field, he called out desperately,
A horse! A horse! My kingdom for a horse!
This famous quote encapsulates the tragic downfall of a cruel and power-hungry king who had done everything in his quest for the throne. Richard III had manipulated and betrayed those around him to gain the kingdom, but now faced with defeat and death on the battlefield, he was willing to give it all up in exchange for a chance to escape. But it was too late for Richard. His ambition and lust for power had led him down a dark path, and in the end, it had cost him everything.